generally, if someone's just clearly guiding you, then like the depth of the experience that you have as the receiver will kind of be based on the practice itself. So, someone now just guiding me to do a basic eye gazing practice, if they're quite a beginner, then, it might be like a nice practice and whatever happens will happen in eye gazing with someone. But then the next level up is if you get to that level of skill where you can guide someone to a place that they wouldn't be able to go doing that practice at home. So, I can eye gaze with my partner at home, and if someone's guiding me just clearly to eye gaze with them, then I'm going to have a pretty similar experience at that workshop versus doing it at home. But if someone's got like a different depth of skill and understanding of the process, then they're going to be having ways of guiding the practice and guiding you into it that are going to deepen it, that are going to give like new nuance and a different kind of transmission of the practice that you wouldn't be able to have just doing it at home with your partner, or based on like reading it in a book and then doing it at home. So this is where, people need to learn to understand how to create the vibe in the room. So this is things like music and, having this kind of, we call it like an energetic vortex that opens up when you kind of get people onto the same wavelength and you're kind of guiding from this flow space and people are able to, drop in a different way. It feels very different to just doing it at home yourself, because someone's really guiding you and they're really like feeling what they're saying and they're instructing it in a way that just brings this different depth to the practice. So this is where I want to be having facilitators at by the end of the training, is that not only are they clearly guiding a practice that people can understand what they're meant to be doing and where they're meant to be, because I've definitely been to some workshops where people are guiding and you're like, I have no idea what I'm meant to be doing right now. Was I meant to open my eyes or close my eyes, or are we all in a circle now? You just get confused. You're like, what's happening? So, we want it to be very clear what people are meant to be doing and how they do it, and have a, beautiful practice that will give people an experience. We want them to be able to guide it in a way that gives a bit of a transmission and brings more depth to the way that people would just do it at home. And so that's a really beautiful professional level for people to be at. And then there's another level, which is something that, I feel like personally I'm exploring more and more after many years of doing this work. And there's very few workshops I've been to with people that are really at this level. And, it tends to be more people that are quite advanced or masters of this work. And that is to be able to really transmit awakening through the work. So, it's not just a nice different layer of depth, but if someone's able to really tap into something beyond their individual self. So being able to tap into, maybe it's an archetypal energy, or it's like the energy of their lineage. So in Tantra, like if I'm doing a tantric ritual or practice, then my work is to not just be guiding from me, Luna, but to be letting the energy from the lineage move through me and out through me. So my individual self dissolves, and the teachings that pour through me and what I say and what happens is beyond kind of space and time. And this is where it gets a little bit more esoteric, but where the teacher becomes a vessel for something that is a lot bigger than what's just happening here and now. So it's a really powerful thing to be able to tap into, to let your individual self as a teacher and as a person and this like ego self dissolve, and to be able to allow things to really move through you and to allow like the guidance of the practice and what's happening to be a lot more like intuitive, and you're not just guiding like step by step of a practice and being like, okay, now you do this, now you do this, now you do this, but you're really allowing something to emerge. And like a lot of the time, if I do access this state, like I don't know what I'm even saying anymore. Like if you try to, ask me like, oh, like what did you say at that point? Or what was this? I'd be like, I don't know. Like I wasn't there in that sense. Like I was a witness to what was happening, but what comes through is very spontaneous. This is much more at the top level. And I definitely will say like, I'm not fully there, and I'm just, scratching and tapping into this kind of part. And it's really powerful being around a facilitator and a teacher that is able to give this really powerful transmission. And you really feel like something happens in you when you're in a workshop, a meditation, a practice with someone that is transmitting something else.